I'm letting you all in. Hello, hello. We've got some scallywags coming in. We've got Jan as well. You better not be messing about the keyboard and stuff. Right, put your names in. Hashtag live. Someone's on the Book of the Face or the YouTube, waiting for a comment. Hashtag live. Scallywagwashere.com. Yeah, what you pointing at? Sorry, pointing. Noah's standing there calm as in the house. Yeah, calm, just calm. And the house is dancing around. Just Noah, calm. Right. Alex Gregory. My goodness me, somebody catch me. We passed out and shock horror and amazing. First time I've seen you on YouTube, well, apart from when you're doing your own show, Alex, which is really good. I mean, the show is really good. Right, so we got you lot. Where is everyone? I'm too tired after school. It's been such a long day. Right then, we're going to move this back and get started then. Did I press the live button? I did. So this one here, well, we could do the kick actually. So this one, the filler inner class, this extra class that we're doing. Somebody else just come, who's that? Kozinski. He's in Zoom. He is true. There he is. Right. This class now, the theory and stuff like that. Is everybody okay with the theory? Or is anyone struggling with their theory? Has anyone got a question about the theory, about the pattern, about the belt? What do they need to know? And stuff like that. So this is a time for you now to ask a question. Nobody else can ask a question if they're not here, but you are here, so you'll get the answer, right? Any idea? And even if you're just on the Facebook and YouTube, doesn't matter, put a question in. So there's Alex Gregory, have you got a question about your blue belt? Or about your syllabus, or a kick, or a move, a technique in your pattern? If you haven't, don't worry, but keep that in mind for the next time, because Friday we're doing the same thing. Right? I think it's Friday. I think we're doing Friday. Yeah, type it in the box for me. And we've got the comments open, so if you have got a question, put it in the comments now. Put it in the chat box. I'm looking to see if Alex has put one in. You've got your hand up at the moment. Jan, go to the chat and type it in. Yeah? And then everyone can see it. And if it's a good question, which I'm sure it will be, I can maybe put that question and say, Jan asked, how many Maltesers are in a jar of coffee? None. Because coffee is in the coffee jar. Right? I don't know what he's going to ask. I just made that up, obviously. It could be anything. What does that say? Harvey. Right, I wondered what that was. I just saw your surname. Go on, put your question in the box if you've got one. If not, I'll ask one. I'm going to ask you a question now because I haven't got. What's that say? Alex Gregory. Oh, he's got a question. My eyes are really tired. I don't know what it is. Or the writing's very small. Alex, you type very small. What does Dangun mean? You should know that. Dangun is named after the holy Dangun, the legendary founder of Korea in 2333 BC. All right. Now you can go back and watch this again, do the replay, and the answer to your question is at the beginning within the first 5 minutes. Right. And this one here, Alex Gregory is saying, this isn't theory, but how long are slow moves in Jungun? Right. It is a good question. Slow movements is kind of up to you within reason. No, it's not dead slow, but what we normally say is count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, some people count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's obviously far too slow, especially if you're waiting to get home. So, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and find out if you could do the movement slowly. About 4 seconds is the usual count. 1, 2, 3, 4. But some people count faster than others, right? So breathe in. 1, 2, and if you stutter or stick, then start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you haven't finished after 4, then you can either learn to count to 5 or learn to count slower, right? But usually, the answer to that question, usually is a count of 4. And if you count 4 seconds, great, count 4 seconds. Dangun, so that's only 2 questions then. Harvey, I thought you were putting a question in. It says, what does Dangun mean? Dangun means literally, no, it doesn't. Dangun is named after the holy Dangun, the legendary founder of Korea in 2333 BC. And how long is a slow movement? When slow movements come in at blue belt, they're a count of 4, right? So for the likes of blue belts, Alex Gregory doing a slow movement, he does 4-arm guarding block in L stance, then where does the 4 count start? Does it count here? I say yes, right? Does the slow movement start here? Good question. Right, so breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Is that too slow or too fast? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about right. That's about right, Alex, to answer your question. I've never been asked that before, Alex. Good question, I think. So it is theory, really. Good question. Nobody else has got a question. I'm disappointed. Yeah, so we had 2 good questions. We had 2 questions, and both of them were good. Dangun's an obvious one, though, because it's written down in the sheets. But the technical one from Alex, well done, I like it. Right, so we're going to do techniques down in here, are you? Here's another one, similar to Alex's question. In Dangun, you do 2 moves. I'll do it towards you. Does anybody know what that is? Not the moves themselves, but the way you execute them. You do a low block and a rising block, and that's done in a particular way. And it's along the same lines as Alex has done. There's a question there. What does that say? Live on Zoom. Yeah, Jan's on Zoom. Yeah. So when you do the 2 moves in Dangun, you do them like that. And that's a particular way of doing it. So where Alex has said slow motion, this one's a different type of motion. Does he put it there? Down, up, down. Yeah, down is used, down and down is used in all of them. But listen, the motion that it's called, if this is slow motion, this one is continuous, right? It doesn't go stop, start, stop. It doesn't do that, right? It does 1 and 2. So it doesn't stop and then that's it. It continues after the first block. Continues after the first block. And the breathing is very important. And what Alex has said, the sine wave, watch, down, up, down, down, up, down. All right? But also the breathing. It doesn't go. It doesn't do that. It's one breath. So it sounds like 2, but it's one breath and it's got 2 parts to it. Right? I'll do it again. Two beats to it. One breath, but 2 parts. Okay, we're good towards you. You still hit with the first block. It's still powerful block, but you don't stop after it. You continue. Yeah? That's why it's continuous motion. And that's to do with the sine wave, as Alex said, but also the breath control. Right? One breath, 2 parts to it. What else has he said? Down, up, down. Down, up, down is sine wave or knee spring, right? This way, breathe in. Cross the hands, breathe in. If you do it slowly, so it sounds like it's stopped, but there's still air escaping. So the balloon's got a hole in it. Yeah? It's not doing the squeaky thing with the balloon. It's not doing that, but it's going. Right? Maybe like a hot air balloon. You can still hear the when they open the gas. But they'll go 2 parts to it. Hopefully you've got that. That's for yellow belts and above. So that is slow motion, because Alex asked. Continuous motion, because we've got yellow belts. And this one, particularly for 7th cup and above. Watch and tell me what this is. What is that then? Go on, Harry's got his hand up. And obviously,
reverse punch.
Obverse punch, reverse punch. But if we're talking about slow motion and then continuous motion, what was that if it was a motion? And you have been told, yeah? What do you think it could be? Alex will know this one. What do you think it could be? Alex has got it. This one, slow motion. This one.
Oh, it's faster.
Fast motion. Yeah? Now, when I punch the first one, and then straight up. So there's no down, up, down. Right? There's just up, down. So when I go to punch, 1 and 2. Fast motion. Normal motion. What's normal motion? Normal motion is 1 technique. Normal motion is still as fast as you possibly can to knock their arms and ears off. Right? It's not slow because there's already a slow motion. Normal motion is hit them as fast as you can. Fast motion is not faster than, it's not be faster than normal motion, although it is, right? It's 2 techniques, and the second one is done up, down, right? So it's 2 techniques. Continuous motion is continuing from one technique to another. Slow motion is 1 technique. Yeah? Slow motion, normal motion, 1 technique. Continuous, 2 techniques. Fast, 2 techniques. Connecting motion, connecting, so from here, 1, 2, 2 techniques. Yeah? So that's another motion. Connecting motion. I'm trying to think. 5th cup. Fifth cup is where you get the first connecting motion, the one I just showed you. So you'll do palm hooking block, but the next hook, down, up, down, connecting motion. Hopefully you're taking this in, Yang, instead of pacing up and down in the living room. Your ears are open, yeah? Has anybody got another ball in their hands and said something? Example of only normal motion, Chunji for it. Yeah, this is really, yeah, exactly. Where there's a technique, one technique by itself, any technique that you do is going to be normal, normal motion. As long as it starts and finishes in one sine wave, one breath. Yeah? That's the rules of the motion. Anybody got another question? Because this is what this section is for. In the next class, the 6 o'clock one, that's where you start working hard. You've got a few minutes left. Any other questions? Go on, Harvey's thinking about one. Noah, you've not asked a question tonight. Go on. Type it in, put your microphone on. One of the three. Go on. You must have a question. You're an inquisitive little chap. Do you know everything already? Have you eaten the Taekwondo encyclopedia or something? No? Everybody's got a question. You just haven't realised it yet. What did that say? Normal motion for it, yep. Harvey, have you put a question in yet? That's still the dang good question. If you haven't got one, it's fine. Go on then. You've got a question. Yeah, go on, Noah. Write it in or say it. One of the three.
What do I have to, what are some of the things that I have to learn, for my bell?
Have you not got the sheet yet? Yeah, it's on the sheet. But we can go through it, right? You have to know hand parts. Song, jumuk, songkal, songgarang, up jumuk, dong jumuk, yok jumuk. This is all on the sheet there, yeah? You have to know the oath, which you should have known anyway, really. The 5 tenets of Taekwondo and the oath, which you know. I know you know it, but no harm in brushing up on it. You need to know the name of your pattern, how many moves are in your pattern, and all the ones before it. You know how to do your pattern, right? And your belt and the belt above. So if you're a yellow, you need to know yellow and green. Yeah? You need to know 3-step sparring. If you're an 8th cup, you have to know 3-step sparring, 1 to 4. If you're a 7th cup, you need to know 3-step sparring, 1 to 6. And as a 7th cup, you need to know 2-step sparring, 1 and 2. Okay? And make sure you do know it. Don't think that you've done it in one class and you know it, and then you haven't done it again for weeks. Because it will have leaked out your brain. You must keep up your practice. Practice isn't a one-time event. Right? It doesn't happen one time and that's it. Practice is ongoing. Yeah? You need to eat. Eating is a practice. You need practice every day to eat something. Otherwise, you're going to have problems, aren't you? So it's the same with Taekwondo. What's that say? No, it's the same thing. What does that say? What are the moves for 2-step sparring? Well, there are videos on that. There are videos on 2-step sparring. You just have to go into the YouTube or the Facebook. It's all there. Yeah? And we'll do it again. I think maybe Thursday I'll look at it again. So Thursday class, give us a shout. Jan, stand up. Let me see your pattern then before we finish. I've not had the 5-minute warning yet, but it's going to happen in about 30 seconds. So let me see your own grade pattern, and maybe after this, there you go, there's the warning there. You'll have a question for me. So ready, stance. Junbei, that means ready. Junbei means ready. So if you're doing 1 yo, Jungun, and all the rest of it, if not, parallel stance. In your own time. Yan, ready. Shijak. What pattern are you doing, Yan? You shouldn't be doing Chunji, and Chunji is in this block. What grade are you, Yan? Yellow belt. I don't know what the sign means. I don't this thing. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I can't do sign language. You've got 2 more moves left. Right? Try not to pause too long on your techniques, Noah. And then you've got to lock in your legs, Harvey. You're not in stance properly. That's it, yeah, good. Then punch, and then turn the other way. Well done. Now low block towards your window, and rising block. That's the continuous motion. Rising block. You've got 2 more rising blocks, Jan. There should be, it's not a punch there, it's a rising block. Yeah, well done. Right, okay, Jan, you're not far off. That's a lot more movements than before. Well done. Yeah, you need to know what a rising block is, though. Okay? So, in the class, maybe we'll do Tangun. Okay? Chariot, come there. Well done for being here, guys. You've got a head start on anybody else. The questions, if they're, leave it, Jan. If there any questions come up, write them down in your books, your notepad, and ask me them next class. Right? You must ask questions. See you next class, guys. 6 o'clock. Bye for now. See you later, geezers. Alex, Gregory, well done for being there. Nice to see you on. Same with you. Any questions? Just ask them next time. Cheerio.